Hi, I am New. Today I want to show you an anime in which the main character changes from nobody to somebody. The Fruit of Evolution. The main character, Seiichi, is a fat boy who is humiliated by his classmates every day and lives a painful life. When he travels to another world and eats the miraculous fruit, everything changes. He becomes not only extremely handsome but also the strongest human in the world. Besides, the magic cast by him can easily destroy an army, and even the king shows his greatest respect to him. Interestingly, the students who once humiliated Seiichi also travel to another world and become very weak. They are forced to be the subordinates of the nobles and have to follow their orders in everything they do. I am really curious that what they will think when they see Seiichi become so powerful. Now let's get it started. When Seiichi reincarnates in another world with his classmates, he acquires a unique skill at the mercy of the god. The skill can help him quickly master all the knowledge of the world but is not filling. At this moment, he accidentally notices a food named the Fruit of Evolution. He doesn't care if it is poisonous and directly eats it. Fortunately, nothing happens. In order to get more fruits of evolution, Seiichi starts to look for it everywhere, only to find that several gorillas up to level 120 nearby are guarding 9 evolution fruits and a bunch of potions. As a level 1 rookie, Seiichi dares not show up easily and can only steal these things quietly when the gorillas are distracted. Unfortunately, a gorilla soon spots Seiichi and desperately chases after him. Seiichi is no match for the gorilla at all. Just when he thinks he is going to die, the gorilla stinks to death from his smell. After it dies, it drops a bunch of weapons and a book about the characteristics of gorillas. Seiichi also gains a new ability to teleport nearby. In the following days, Seiichi has been exploring in the forest. After eating all the fruits, his body suddenly becomes thinner and he also receives a super high stat bonus. Suddenly, the system prompts Seiichi that he has evolved, which will take place 10 times in total. Since then, Seiichi has fought monsters in the forest with his super strength and has evolved for 9 times. Now he is able to easily defeat monsters with a level of more than 300, but he is still level 1. At this time, the leader of the gorillas, a pink gorilla who calls herself Saria, comes to take revenge on Seiichi. With her supreme strength, Saria knocks Seiichi down with a single punch. In a desperate situation, he remembers that he has killed gorillas with the smell of his body, so he intends to attack Saria in the same way. Interestingly, Saria is not knocked out. Instead, she becomes obsessed with the smell of Seiichi. She carries Seiichi up and says that she wants to marry him. After that, Seiichi is forced to live with Saria in her cave. Now he can only settle down and wait for the good timing to escape. Saria tells him the fruits that he steals are prepared for her future husband, and now she believes he is her destined husband. Though looks rough, Saria is actually a gentle gorilla. She carefully prepares clean clothes and hearty food for Seiichi, and even rescues him when he is in danger. As time passes by, Seiichi gradually changes his attitude towards Saria, but he still wants to escape. When Saria doesn't pay attention to him, he slips away and escapes into a labyrinth where lives a skeleton lord of up to level 1500. The skeleton lord quickly launches an attack on Seiichi, and at the most dangerous moment, Saria appears to help Seiichi block the attack with her body. Seeing Saria almost stop breathing, Seiichi knows that she is dying. Only at this moment does he realize that he has already had a crush on her. In order to avenge Saria, he furiously declares war on the skeleton lord. The skeleton lord is surprised that humans fall in love with gorillas. While he is stunned, Seiichi transports himself to his side and kills him with a dagger. After that, Seiichi picks up Saria and kisses her affectionately. At this time, a light appears on Saria, and Saria completes her last evolution. She then becomes a sexy beauty, and her injuries are healed. Seiichi also completes the final evolution. He not only learns many new skills and magic, but also becomes extremely handsome. At this moment, Seiichi and Saria look at each other affectionately and agree to be together forever. Suddenly, the maze manager who calls himself Mr. Sheep appears in front of them. Mr. Sheep gives them 2 costumes and a bag of evolution fruits as a reward for defeating the skeleton lord, then transports them outside the maze. But they don't return to the forest. Instead, they come to a strange place. Now, Seiichi has become extremely powerful. The ordinary monsters cannot withstand his attacks at all. To conceal his strength, Seiichi puts on a cloak which is found in Mr. Sheep's reward. He hasn't seen any humans for a long time, and he decides to take Saria first to find a human gathering place. They arrive at the nearest town, and the guards who are guarding the gates tell them that only those with identification can stay here for a long time, and that the quickest way to obtain their identifications is to register as adventurers. So Seiichi and Saria come to the Adventurers Guild. Before registering as an adventurer, they need to take an exam, and the examiner is named Artoria, who is known in guilds for being harsh and cold. Few people know that the reason why she is reluctant to approach others is that those who come into contact with her are always in danger. After giving Seiichi and Saria a series of tasks as exam questions, she sets off with Seiichi and others as a proctor. One of the tasks is to demolish the ruins. Seiichi tries to destroy it with magic, only to be buried alive by a large number of fallen stones. Worried about Seiichi's safety, Artoria rushes to dig for stones, and she believes that it is her misfortune that has implicated Seiichi. Fortunately, Seiichi is so strong that he is unharmed. Next, Artoria takes Seiichi and Saria out to the wilderness to complete a mission. When Seiichi is acting alone, he encounters several demons. This time they come to the human territory to lay traps, which are used to transport human adventurers in the wild to the palace of the Black Dragon God so that the combat power of humans can be weakened. Before meeting Seiichi, they have already achieved their goal. Soon after, Artoria falls into the trap. Seiichi and Saria rush to catch her, and the three of them are transported together into a complex maze, which is located near the palace of the Black Dragon God, to avoid the team from getting scattered. Artoria gives Seiichi a stone to locate other teammates. At this time, Artoria accidentally triggers the mechanism of the maze, and a wall rises from the ground to separate her from her companions. They can only explore the maze, looking for other ways to meet. Moments later, Seiichi and Saria accidentally break into a room and encounter an aggressive treasure box. Seiichi defeats the box with magic and gets a strange ring that can turn the user's misfortune into good luck. Before Seiichi can figure out how to use it, he notices that the stone glows, indicating that Artoria is on the other side of the wall. Seiichi finds the wall fragile and decides to force his way through. Meanwhile, Artoria searches for them in the maze and inadvertently enters Black Dragon God's room, where she is treated as food. She fights against the dragon with all her strength, only to be defeated again and again. The Black Dragon God then spews out a ball of flame, intending to burn Artoria, but thankfully, Seiichi shatters the wall in time and blocks the flames with his body. After healing Artoria with a healing potion, he rushes forward to fight against the Black Dragon God. Seeing that it is about to unleash a huge fireball, Seiichi hurriedly summons a waterfall with magic to defuse the attack. He uses his skills to dodge Black Dragon God's attacks, then waits for the opportunity to get close to Black Dragon God and defeat it. After the fight, Seiichi greatly increases his level and learns the magic used to transport. He hurriedly casts magic and leaves with his companions. Artoria feels guilty, believing that the crisis is caused by her special constitution. She then tells Seiichi that she was cursed when she was born and that anyone who approaches her will be in danger. Seiichi and Saria agree that they have already regarded Artoria as an important partner and will never mind her special physique. Deeply moved, Artoria sheds tears. To avoid others seeing her crying, she flees away. Seiichi follows her worriedly and finally finds her in the ruins that he destroyed before. He holds Artoria tightly to comfort her, saying that he will always be with her. Suddenly, Seiichi remembers that the ring he has gotten can help Artoria get out of bad luck. After he puts the ring on her ring finger, Artoria's doom is lifted. Now Seiichi and Saria have passed the exam and officially become adventurers. The president of the Adventurers Guild suggests Seiichi buy a horse, which could be used both as a means to carry things and as a means of transportation. Seiichi thinks it makes sense and goes to a nearby horse farm to pick him out. In addition to the various peculiar horses, there is also a donkey named Luliyun. She is stronger than all the horses, but she is extremely grumpy. Whoever approaches her will only be kicked away. Seiichi understands Luliyun's words through a special skill given to him by the god and learns that she only submits to the strong, which arouses Seiichi's desire to win. He holds Luliyun's two hooves to stop her from attacking. Luliyun has never seen a human being with greater strength than her and has voluntarily surrendered to him. After Seiichi successfully takes Luliyun with him, he hears the news that the country is holding a horse race recently, and the prize for 5th place is Luliyun's favorite food. At Luliyun's begging, Seiichi takes her to the tournament. After the race begins, other runners are galloping on horseback, but Luliyun can't run at all because she forgets to have breakfast. Seiichi hurriedly rummages through his food and feeds her the bag of evolution fruits from Mr. Sheep. After eating it, Luliyun suddenly gains extraordinary strength and rushes to the front of the team. Finally, they win the first place. However, the reward for the winner is not good food, but a day out with Louise, the favorite female warrior of men in the country. Luliyun, who doesn't get the food, cries and hugs Seiichi as soon as she gets home. At this moment, her body begins to glow. By the time the light fades, she has evolved into a beautiful girl. Suddenly, several soldiers capture Seiichi and take him to meet Louise in the palace. Louise is a fighting maniac and is also one of the strongest warriors under the king. After learning about Seiichi's strength, she wants to duel with him. When Seiichi arrives, he sees Louise practicing her sword and taking down dozens of warriors with just one move. Louise throws Seiichi a wooden sword and offers to compete with him. Before Seiichi can answer, she starts to attack. Her swordsmanship is quite exquisite, but she is completely no match for Seiichi, who has evolved for 10 times. It is Louise's first time losing to others. She kneels respectfully to Seiichi and asks Seiichi to be her master. Seiichi can't stand Louise's sincere pleads and can only agree. At this time, a maid rushes to report to Louise that King Rans has been attacked by an assassin. When Louise receives the news, she hurries with her subordinates to arrest the assassin. Seiichi also offers his help. He uses a new skill he has acquired in the fight just now to detect the situation in the vicinity. He finds out through his skills that the assassin is a cat girl named Aliga. Seiichi takes the initiative to attack her. After knocking Aliga unconscious, he hands her over to Louise. Louise worriedly tells Seiichi that Aliga's weapon has a curse attached to it. Since Rans is attacked by Aliga, he will sleep forever. The problem will not be solved by only capturing the assassin, and no one in the palace can help Rans lift the curse. Just then, Seiichi suddenly remembers that when he was once visiting the library, he discovered that he had been given a special skill by God, which allows him to learn everything by reading a magic book, including the ability to create magics. Seiichi tries to create a magic that can lift Rand's curse and focuses all his attentions on Rand's. After a while, Rand opens his eyes. After learning that he was saved by Seiichi, he rewards him for going in and out of the palace at will in the future, and then takes him to the bathhouse for a bath. Rand tells Seiichi that his dream is to create a peaceful world where demons and humans no longer kill each other. Some time ago, the demon lord who controlled the demon race was sealed by humans, and now the leader of the demon race is the daughter of the demon lord. In order to achieve his goal, Rand makes a peace agreement with the daughter of the demon lord. Unfortunately, the demon lord's old subordinates oppose this action, and the king of another human kingdom, the Kaiser Empire, doesn't want to live in peace with the demons, making it difficult for Rand to realize his dream. Seiichi admires Rand's dream and decides to help him keep the peace. Meanwhile, Seiichi's companions are not aware of this, and they are asking around for clues about him. Finally, under various intelligence, they find the palace and then learn what happened before. After leaving the bathhouse, Seiichi meets his companions and Louise, who is preparing to interrogate Aliga. Out of curiosity, Seiichi follows her to the cell. Louise sees Aliga wearing a strange collar around her neck, pointing out that it is a magic ring used to force the wearer to perform a mission, which means that someone manipulated Aliga into this assassination. At present, no one knows how to remove the control of the magic ring. But it is just a piece of cake for Seiichi, who can create magic. He easily creates a new magic and destroys the magic ring. When Aliga regains her freedom, she cries out emotionally. Later, she confesses that it is the king of the Kaiser Empire who has instructed her to assassinate, and that she and her people are controlled by the magic ring and tortured. Seiichi sympathizes with Aliga and promises to protect her as his sister in the future. Meanwhile, Demon Lord's former subordinates are planning to launch a fierce attack on Rand's country. Soon after, Louise receives news that the country has been invaded by a large number of monsters. She hurriedly says goodbye to Seiichi and goes to the front to fight. Louise has never expected to see so many monsters, and they are fiercely attacking humans. It will take Louise a long time to end the war. After Louise leaves, Barnabas, the first magician of mankind, comes to the palace. He reveals that the Kaiser Empire recently sends a large number of heroes from another world to the academy he runs. These heroes cause trouble everywhere, which upsets him a lot. Thinking of not getting any news from his classmates who have also traveled here until now, Seiichi realizes the heroes Barnabas mentions are exactly his classmates, who have been under Kaiser Empire's control ever since they traveled to another world. At this moment, a soldier reports that a large number of monsters are attacking the capital where the palace is located. Now that the soldiers of the country have been brought to the front by Louise, Rand can only order the adventurers and Barnabas to gather in the country to defend the capital. Seiichi also takes his companions to the battlefield. Saria quickly turns her arms back into their original form and hits the enemy with great force, while other girls also kill enemies in their own combat styles. However, there are too many monsters on the battlefield. Barnabas decides to cast a large magic to summon a hurricane, blowing all the monsters away. Just when everyone feels relieved, a group of monsters with a larger number and higher level appear. Now it is Seiichi's turn to strike, and he creates super powerful magic with all his strengths. Later, destructive beams of light fall from the sky, killing the monsters with precision. Seeing this, everyone on the spot is shocked, especially Barnabas, who has never thought of seeing such powerful magic. Barnabas implores Seiichi to go to the Academy of Magic as a teacher and allows Seiichi to take his companions with him. Seeing the girls are all showing interest in the Academy of Magic, Seiichi agrees to Barnabas' invitation. Before heading to the Academy of Magic, Louise repels the monsters on the border and returns to the capital. Though eager to stay with Seiichi, Louise has to stay and protect the capital. After saying goodbye to Louise, Seiichi embarks on a new journey with other girls. The boy was once a very fat boy who was bullied by everyone, and he lived a miserable life. But everything has changed after he eats the mysterious fruit of evolution. He becomes a handsome and powerful hero, and attracts many powerful girls to join his harem, including a sexy girl who has turned from a pink orangutan and a cute girl who has changed from a stupid donkey. Now he is going to make those who bullied him pay the price. Hi, I am New. Today I'll recap the anime, The Fruit of Evolution Season 2. If you haven't watched the first season, you can find the link in the comment section. At the end of the first season, the principal of the Academy of Magic, Barnabas, invites Seiichi to the Academy of Magic. So Seiichi arrives at the academy with his harem. The Magic Academy is the largest school in the world, and it is a neutral zone where students from all over the world come to study. Seiichi's classmates became students at the Magic Academy before Seiichi's arrival. Since they came from another world, they are not welcome in the Magic Academy. Barnabas hopes that Seiichi can change that after he arrives here, because Seiichi is so powerful. He cannot become a student at the Magic Academy, but a teacher. Among Seiichi's harem members, Saria and Lilian become students, while Artoria and Oliga become teachers. Seiichi is appointed by Barnabas as the head teacher of Class F. Beatrice, the former head teacher of Class F, takes Seiichi to the class. The students in Class F are the worst students in the entire Magic Academy. Not only do they have poor grades, but they also have an eccentric personality. When they learn that Seiichi is the new head teacher, they are shocked because Seiichi is about their age and doesn't look like a teacher. Then the students of Class F introduce themselves, and they are a bad teenager who likes to fight, a proud genius girl, a bear man who can't speak, and the second prince of the Kaiser Empire. They are unwilling to accept Seiichi as their new head teacher, so Beatrice offers to let Seiichi fight the students so that Seiichi can prove his strength. In addition, Beatrice hopes that Seiichi can help the Class F students solve a difficult problem. The Class S is the best class in the Magic Academy, and the leader of the Class S is the eldest prince of Kaiser Empire who looks down on Class F very much. The students of Class F feel very angry and helpless. Soon, Seiichi fights the students of Class F as agreed, and the genius girl is the first to fight against Seiichi. In fact, the students of Class F have great combat power. The genius girl, using 2 daggers, attacks Seiichi with great speed. At first, Seiichi falls into a tough fight, but then he casts magic and defeats the genius girl in an instant. Soon after, the other 3 students propose that they will fight Seiichi together. The 3 students fight in a very similar way, and they all have a strong force. Seiichi dodges their attacks first, and then finds an opportunity to block their attacks and counterattack with magic, defeating them in an instant. After the battle, Seiichi finally knows what the most difficult problem of Class F is. It turns out that the students of Class F are cursed and cannot cast magic. Therefore, although they have strong fighting power and will, they are still the worst students in the Magic Academy. Seiichi can see that their bodies are wrapped in cursed chains. If he can break these chains, they will be able to cast magic. The strong desire awakens Seiichi to a new skill that can remove curses. Soon, he breaks the cursed chains on the students, who then suddenly feel a lot of mana in their bodies. The genius girl immediately tries to cast fire magic, and she summons flames in an instant. The bear man also successfully casts rock magic. The second prince of the Kaiser Empire is good at water magic, and he summons a small waterfall. Like the genius girl, the bad teenager is good at fire magic. The students in Class F are very happy because they successfully cast magic for the first time. From now on, Class F will no longer be the worst class and will become the strongest class. After that, the students in Class F have great respect for Seiichi. At lunch, a female student finds Seiichi by his smell. The girl's name is Karen. Before Seiichi ate the fruit of evolution, Karen had fallen in love with him. When Karen was young, she was bullied by other children. Only the kind and brave Seiichi stopped the children. Although Seiichi was fat at that time, Karen still fell in love with him. But the kind Seiichi was later bullied by others because of obesity. None of the members of Seiichi's harem knows about his past, so Seiichi turns back into his original appearance. He doesn't want to hide what he used to look like, but his harem members still love him after seeing this, because what they love about Seiichi is his soul, not his appearance. This touches Seiichi very much. Karen is relieved to see so many good girls in love with Seiichi, but then she wants to leave Seiichi because she may put Seiichi in danger. Seiichi then discovers that Karen is wearing slave shackles. It turns out that Karen and the rest of her classmates have become slaves to the Kaiser Empire. Seiichi is very angry, using his mana to let out a roar, which makes the students all dizzy, but their shackles are all shattered. The whole world hears this roar, and they feel the great power of Seiichi. After that, Barnabas tells Seiichi that the emperor of the Kaiser Empire wants to conquer the world, so he needs a large number of slaves. The Wimbledon Kingdom wants to ally with the Magic Kingdom against the Kaiser Empire. The Kaiser Empire also has allies. The Great Devil Order, which worships the Great Devil, is an ally of the Kaiser Empire. The Great Devil Order has sent 2 spies to infiltrate the Magic Academy. Soon, the Magic Academy will host a tournament in which all classes will participate, and the students in Class F hope to prove their strength through this tournament. They especially want to defeat Class S because the eldest prince of the Kaiser Empire is so arrogant. So Seiichi conducts special training. The students in Class F try to attack Seiichi with magic, but Seiichi easily blocks the magic. They have just learned to cast magic, so their magic is not powerful enough. At this time, Class S also comes to the training ground. The eldest prince of the Kaiser Empire taunts the Class F, saying that the weak should be ashamed. The second prince angrily retorts to the eldest prince, believing that people, whether strong or weak, are entitled to respect, and he tells him that he will prove this in the tournament. After this, Class F continues their special training, and they train very hard until the day before the tournament. On the day of the tournament, just when Class S and Class F are about to start fighting, the 2 spies from the Great Devil Order suddenly appear. They want to kill all the students, even the 2 princes of the Kaiser Empire. It turns out that the real purpose of the Great Devil Order is not to conquer the world, but to summon the Great Devil and destroy the entire world. The female spy is good at mind control magic, and she controls many students to make them attack each other. The eldest prince is almost killed by the other students, and at this time, one of the students of Class F saves him. The eldest prince is surprised. He taunted Class F many times, but they are willing to save him. Later, together they begin to fight back. As bait, the eldest prince withstands the attack of the female spy, and the others take the opportunity to attack, injuring her instantly. After the female spy is injured, she falls into a state of madness, attacking the students with very powerful fire magic. Just then, Beatrice stops the female spy. As for Seiichi, he has been going to the toilet due to food poisoning. The female spy knows that Beatrice is the teacher, so she controls the bad teenager and makes him attack Beatrice. Beatrice is afraid of hurting the bad teenager, so she doesn't fight back. Students of Class F call out to the bad teenager along with Beatrice, making him gradually free from mind control. After the bad teenager regains consciousness, Beatrice can finally fight back against the female spy with all her strength, and she defeats the female spy in an instant with a lot of mana. Although they defeated the female spy, the male spy is still here. He is the boss of the female spy and is more powerful. He defeated Barnabas just now, and he is going to attack the others. The female spy asks the male spy to rescue her, but the male spy directly sacrifices her to the Great Devil in exchange for stronger strength. Later, he starts to fight against Beatrice, who is soon put at a disadvantage. Seeing this, the students want to help Beatrice, but the male spy is so powerful that he soon defeats Beatrice and the students. After that, he intends to kill these students in front of Beatrice to make her desperate. In this way, the power of the Great Devil will be enhanced. Just as the male spy launches his final attack, Seiichi finally arrives and stops him. Seeing many students and teachers injured, Seiichi is very angry and easily defeats the male spy, making him a hero of the Magic Academy. After that, the eldest prince recognizes Class F, and he must admit that the students of Class F are very good. Just then, an accident happens. The defeated male spy sacrifices his life, killing Seiichi and a female student in an instant with terrifying magic. Soon, Seiichi's and the female student's souls come to the underworld. The female student is named Eri, and she secretly loves Seiichi, so she wanted to block the magic of the male spy for him, but was killed along with Seiichi. However, they have a chance to be resurrected. As long as their souls can pass God's test, they can be brought back to life. The first test requires Seiichi to answer questions about Eri. The question is whether Eri has liked Seiichi since elementary school. Eri can't speak, so she, using her body, prompts Seiichi to answer no. Seiichi sees the prompt and chooses the right option. Then the answer is revealed that Eri did not like Seiichi in elementary school, but has liked Seiichi since junior high school because she had no friends at that time, and Seiichi was the only one willing to talk to her. After that, Seiichi needs to pass the second test, which is a labyrinth. As long as he can pass through the labyrinth, he can walk out of the underworld and be resurrected. There are 3 guards in the labyrinth, but Seiichi defeats them easily. The labyrinth is not difficult to pass through, and Seiichi successfully walks out of the underworld after defeating the guards. Seiichi's friends are very happy to see Seiichi resurrected. At this time, Louise arrives at the Magic Academy, where she faints just after seeing Seiichi. It turns out that before that, the kingdom is going to form an alliance with the demons, and they need a witness. So Louise comes and invites Seiichi to be the witness. Meanwhile, the general of the Kaiser Empire has discovered the conspiracy of the Great Devil Order. After the Great Devil Order takes control of the Kaiser Empire, it causes the people here to be in despair. They feed the Great Devil with the despair of the people until the Great Devil has the power to destroy the world. So the general escapes from the Kaiser Empire, intending to tell the 2 princes who are studying at the Magic Academy about this. But halfway through, the general meets Destra, the leader of the Great Devil Order. Destra is very powerful, and he quickly defeats the general with evil magic. Just as Destra is about to execute the general, Louise stops him. Louise is on her way to the Magic Academy, so she meets the general and Destra. But Destra is stronger than Louise, and Louise is quickly defeated. Reluctant to kill women, Destra directly leaves after he kills the general. Before dying, the general tells Louise about the Great Devil Order's conspiracy. That's why Louise is injured and immediately faints after she arrives at the Magic Academy. When she wakes up, she immediately goes to the kingdom with Seiichi. They must ensure that the kingdom and the demons can successfully form an alliance so that everyone can unite against the Great Devil Order. Meanwhile, the Great Devil Order once again sends a spy to infiltrate the Magic Academy. This time the spy is named Jempel, and he can turn himself into anyone. Jempel kidnaps Eri and disguises himself as Eri to enter the Magic Academy. Later, Jempel uses the identity of Eri to attack Seiichi's companions. He can not only copy the appearance but also the strength. Jempel copies the strength of Saria and soon defeats Seiichi's students. When Jempel tries to attack Lulyun, Lulyun blocks his attack. Lulyun takes Jempel as Eri and forgives him instantly because she thinks Eri is her good friend. It's Jempel's first time seeing such a simple girl, and he is instantly moved. He grew up in an evil family and never had friends. When Jempel hears Lulyun call him a friend, he doesn't want to kill her anymore. Jempel then turns into Lulyun and tries to attack Aliga. It is raining and Aliga wants to hold up an umbrella for Lulyun, which touches Jempel again, so he also gives up attacking Aliga. Then Jempel turns into Seiichi, and this time he wants to attack Artoria. Jempel confesses to Artoria and tries to sneak up on her while hugging her. However, Artoria, out of shyness, punches Jempel, which happens to block Jempel's sneak attack. She then happily accepts Jempel's confession. Jempel suddenly becomes curious, so he stops attacking Seiichi's companions. He takes advantage of Seiichi's appearance and spends some time with them. During this time, Jempel discovers that Seiichi's companions are good people and he no longer wants to kill them. At the same time, Karen also discovers that Jempel is disguised as Seiichi because she can tell that this is not the real Seiichi through the smell on his body. But Seiichi's companions do not take revenge on Jempel after discovering his identity because they believe that Jempel is not a complete bad person. Jempel is ashamed of this, so after he leaves the Magic Academy, he applies to Destra to leave the Great Devil Order. Hearing this, Destra directly kills Jempel. With Seiichi's help, the kingdom and the demons successfully form an alliance. The kingdom's Adventurers Guild begins recruiting more adventurers to prepare for war with the Great Devil Order. So the Great Devil Order sends another spy, Victor, into the Adventurers Guild. At night, an adventurer who likes to bite his pacifier is attacked. The members of the Adventurers Guild gather to find out who attacked him. Someone guesses that it was the Great Devil Order who attacked the adventurer, but Victor disagrees with this view. He begins investigating the scene of the attack with the leader of the Adventurers Guild, but they find no clues at the scene. Later, they begin to interrogate the other members of the Adventurers Guild, but each of them has alibi. It isn't until the attacked adventurer wakes up that they learn the truth. It turns out that the adventurer accidentally fell, and he was not attacked. At this point, an adventurer begins to doubt Victor's identity, because Victor learns from the outset that the attacker is not the Great Devil Order. While investigating Victor, she is discovered by him. Victor wants to kill her, only to be stopped by the guild leader. It turns out that the guild leader is also doubting Victor's true identity. Soon, the leader and Victor begin a duel. They are both strong men with great force, and they fight in the same way, which is the hand-to-hand combat. Victor doesn't really like spying jobs, and he prefers to fight fiercely. This battle makes him very excited. They fight until they run out of their energy, and the battle ends in a draw. But for the Great Devil Order, Victor's mission fails, so they kill Victor as punishment. After Seiichi returns to the Magic Academy, the principal tells a secret. It turns out that Destra, the leader of the Great Devil Order, also ate the Fruit of Evolution, and the Fruit of Evolution was created by the Great Devil. People who eat the Fruit of Evolution will most likely end up being controlled by the Great Devil. Besides, Destra was also a student at the Magic Academy. A long time ago, in a war, Destra lost all his loved ones. A female teacher at the Magic Academy adopted him. After becoming Destra's adoptive mother, the female teacher not only taught him many different kinds of magic, but also made him feel the greatness of love. Destra is very grateful to this female teacher. But in a war, the female teacher died when she tried to save Destra. Destra was desperate, but his emotions were exploited by the Great Devil, which caused Destra to become his slave. One day, Destra follows the order of the Great Devil and comes to attack the Magic Academy. He tries to kill the person Seiichi loves the most, because it can make Seiichi desperate and eventually become a slave of the Great Devil. Destra teleports Seiichi and Saria to the space of the Great Devil. In order to protect Saria, Seiichi fights against Destra. This is the first time Seiichi has encountered an enemy more powerful than him, and Destra quickly defeats Seiichi. Just as Destra is about to kill Seiichi, Saria turns into a gorilla, intending to stop Destra. However, Destra is much stronger than Saria, and he defeats Saria, killing her instantly. Seiichi feels extremely sad and desperate, which causes the Fruit of Evolution in Seiichi's body to evolve. Seiichi recalls the good old days and instantly feels even more sad and hopeless. At this time, Destra persuades Seiichi to join the Great Devil Order and destroy the world with the Great Devil so that he will no longer feel desperate. But Seiichi rejects Destra. Even though he is desperate, he won't hurt others. Although Seiichi is grieving over Saria's death, he has other people he wants to protect, so he will definitely not make the same choice as Destra. After they lost the person they loved the most, Destra chose hate and Seiichi chose love. Seiichi's choice leads the Fruit of Evolution to evolve in a different direction. Seiichi's fruit has gained the power of love, which is far more powerful than Destra's hatred. The power of love has resurrected all those who died because of Destra, including the General, Jempol, Victor, and so on. Destra wants to stop Seiichi from resurrecting Saria, but the evolved Seiichi already has stronger power. In the end, Seiichi defeats Destra, and with the power of love, he restores Destra's original personality. But Destra, out of guilt and regret, decides to end his life. After Destra died, Seiichi brings Saria back to life. Not long after, they return to the Magic Academy together, where Seiichi and his harem will live a happy life. The second season of The Fruit of Evolution ends here. In this season, Seiichi encounters an enemy who also ate the Fruit of Evolution, Destra. Destra is more powerful than any other enemy Seiichi has encountered before. But Seiichi still defeats Destra because he makes a different choice when they were faced with the same enemy. Destra's heart is filled with hatred, and he finally becomes a slave of the Great Devil. While Seiichi, though sad, remains not controlled by hatred, so he defeats Destra and the Great Devil. Love is always more powerful than hatred, and the story once again proves this. In the end, thanks for watching. Please give this video a like to help my channel out. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Your support can really push me to make more recaps. Bye.